welcome to INCC 2020. This is Elias Lab for Lab 12, and we'll be configuring domain controllers. For Lab 12, Lab Exercise 1, we'll be adding Server A as an additional domain controller to the current existing Class 2020 domain. For Lab 2, we'll be adding Server B as a new trial domain named Student Class 2020, and we'll be using PowerShell for Lab Exercise 2. For Lab Exercise 3, we'll be adding Server C as a new domain tree to the Class 2020 forest, and we'll be naming this tree faculty2020.com. Okay, so let's go ahead and begin with Lab 12. What we'll be doing in Lab 12 on this part is Exercise 1, and we'll be adding Server A as an additional domain controller to Class2020.com. So in order to do that, we have to add the Active Directory Domain Services role. So let's go ahead and add role and student features. Next, here we want to select Server A. Next. Alright, and here we go. Let's select Active Directory Domain Services right there. Include management tools, add features, boom. Okay, so it got done, finished installing. Hit close. Now let's see. See if it'll show the. There it is. Get rid of that refresh failure. Alright, right here is promote this server to domain controller. So you just want to go ahead and click on it if it'll let me. I don't know. There we go. Alright. So just give it a second, I guess. My computer's kind of slow right now. Okay, so in here, let's go ahead and select deployment configuration. It is going to be add a domain controller to an existing domain for Exercise 1, and the domain, we'll leave that be. Hit next. Actually, okay, so here it asks for the directory services restore mode password. I'm thinking it's the same password that we typed in a couple of labs ago. DSRM. If it's not this, then it'll probably just be the domain administrative password. DSRM. Alright, let's hope this works. And site name, we'll just leave that be. We'll leave all the defaults alone. And I'm guessing the password worked. I'll find out later, I guess. Let's see, notification, you can just ignore that. Next, replicate from. So here we'll be choosing server dc.class2020.com. Next, leave all those be. Don't want to mess with anything you don't need to. Alright, and if you would like to review your selections, you sure can from right here. It lets you see everything. Next. And it's doing that prerequisite check. And it appears as if I passed successfully. Let's go ahead and hit install and see what happens. I guess it's loading the domain upgrade status right now. Okay, it's gonna go ahead and reboot the computer. Alright, and that was Exercise 1 for adding Server A as an additional domain controller to Class 2020 domain. Next thing we'll be doing for Exercise 2 is adding Server B as a new child domain named student.class2020.com using PowerShell. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is install Active Directory Domain Services. Okay, so let's do PowerShell, and let's type in this command right here: install Windows feature name ad-domain services include management tools. I think I typed it out right. Let's see. Nope. Let's see. Include. Okay. There we go. Alright, so let's skip past this. And there we go. As you can see, we have just installed Active Directory Domain Services. The next thing we want to do is create our child domain. So in order to do that, we have to add the domain. And the command for that is install add domain. Okay, so it's asking us for values. What we want to do here is type in student. Here's the domain name. And the parent name, class 2020. And the password, safe mode, I'm guessing it's going to be the domain password. Hopefully this works. Yes. Boom. Alright, so here it goes. I'm going to go ahead. Oh, guess I don't need to skip ahead. Maybe I do. Let's skip ahead. And there we go. Okay, waiting for DNS installation to finish. Oh, almost there. Okay. And it's gonna restart the computer, it seems. Alright, and that was all for exercise 2, where we added server B as a new child domain named student, class 2020, using PowerShell. And for lab exercise 3, we'll be adding server C, which we're in now, as a new domain tree to the existing class 2020 forest. And we're going to name that new domain tree faculty2020.com. So let's go ahead and begin with this exercise. The very first thing, of course, is going to have to install our Active Directory services. So, manager, manage, add roles and features. Next. Select server C, of course. Active Directory domain services, add features. Next. So forth. Let's go ahead and skip ahead. Okay. This was the fastest installation ever. Okay. So let's go ahead and promote this to domain controller. Boom. Site deployment operation. Here we'll be adding a new domain to an existing forest, which will be server C, adding to class 2020. So, boom. And domain type. Let's go with tree domain. Forest name is going to be class 2020.com. And the domain name will be faculty2020.com. Credentials. Let's type in our domain administrator information. Oh gosh. Class 2020 administrator. I cannot type administrator and the password. Boom. Okay. And this is the next part. It says select functional level of the new domain, and you see that to Windows Server 2012. This asks you to specify domain controller capabilities, which will be the default, and then it asks you to type the directory services restore mode password. So let's go ahead and type that out. configured. You can skip through all these, it's all defaulted. Net BIOS name. I think you just want to leave that alone. Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to mess with any of that. Next. Review options. Looks good. Factory 2020. Domain to be added. Perfect. And now it's going to be the prerequisite check. Let's go ahead and skip past all this configuration. Alright, the server got done rebooting after the deployment operation. Let's go ahead and try to log in, and you see Factory 2020 Administrator. So you know that the server C has been added to the new domain tree to the existing class 2020 forest. And there we go. Thanks for watching. Lab 12 is Elias Ladd. Have a great day. Alright, and in review of this lab, we added server A as an additional domain controller to the current existing domain. We added server B as a new child domain named student.class2020, and we used PowerShell, and then we added server C as a new domain tree to the class 2020 forest, and we named that tree faculty 2020.